soon as you said it, your first instant, you looked at me and said, we'll talk about it later.
Because I'm like, yo, this my dog. Like,
no, you knew it was a bomb. If it wasn't a bomb, you wouldn't have mentioned it.
Hussein, you was incarcerated yourself. And you eliminate me from my son's father, somebody.
I remember during the season saying, why does it seem like the guys are meeting Rose's representative? They are not meeting Rose, but they're meeting her representative, in the sense that there's more to her that we are not seeing. And her behavior at the reunion proves it, that she was really trying to put her best self forward. And she does have these toxic traits that make Angie look like a saint. And so I'm here for that. And then it's the audacity for me, it's the audacity for you know, Cam to try and pretend to be the saint. And it's like, Cam, he's no better than the rest of the guys. He's no better than Fritz, but he just knew how to play the game. He wanted to stay until the very end. And this is why he put on the persona that he did of being, you know, Sahara's savior. And when it suited him, he used it to his advantage. And when he didn't, he sort of played it in a way that allowed Sahara to dump him. And he appeared as though he wasn't the one who dumped her, because his friends had already told us that he was someone who was used to keeping strays. Anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Ready to Love, Season 10, Episode 13, The Reunion Part 1. So you have all the participants, they are back and they're with Tommy, and it's time for, you know, a reunion. We had the three couples that were left at the end, which were Kayla and Jay, Sahara and Cam, who broke up on that day. And then we had Cisco and Tia. So it's going to be interesting to see who's still together. I think Cisco and T are still together. I think everybody, and Kayla and Jay, I think, are still together. I think they're the only two couples that are left standing from the finale, but it also seems two new couples have been formed. Anyway, so first up they have Angie with Hussein and Eddie and Cam. There's this back and forth conversation about the fact that Angie had said that, you know, she's broken someone's windows before. And it's like these guys ran away from Angie saying that she broke someone's windows, not realizing that Rose is actually worse, and maybe some of the other girls might actually be worse. She was asked, have you grown? And she couldn't sort of take responsibility. I wish she had just said to them, you know, this was a very low point in my life, and I'm in a space whereby I'm able to look back and realize what I did wrong. And I appreciate this experiment because it allowed me to self-reflect and grow. But she was all over the place, and the guys just knew that she was still going to do it if she was upset. She was asked, did you have any sort of follow-up with the guys after the experience? And she said no, but she was able to sort of create a connection with somebody new in the experiment. She spoke about Khalil and the fact that she and Khalil, it seems, are dating. I think Khalil is a great guy. I really do. I think Angie is a great girl as well, regardless of the fact that she does lose her temper at times. I'm not sure whether they'll be able to have kids, because we all know that's the reason why he fell out with T, because T was saying she wanted kids immediately, and he was talking about the fact that he wanted to wait to sort of have time to get to know his partner before he decided on having kids. Angie, I don't remember her talking about kids. I know she's got a child, but I don't know whether she sees a future whereby she wants more children. We then have Rose come out. So Rose comes out with Hussein, Angie, and Cam. And she was really on fire, because she felt some type of way. She felt cheated out of the experience because she felt like the guys played her. And she said they should have asked her. She didn't need to sort of come out with the fact that her ex-partner was in prison. They could have easily asked her. And personally, what I think is this. I think she had a persona. She had a character she was playing, and she didn't want that image sort of tainted. This is why she didn't speak about her ex. Because the guys were saying, you know, Kayla told everyone that her ex was in prison, and we understood that. Why didn't you tell us? Her excuse was, you were in the experience with me. It was very fast paced. Why didn't you ask me? I could have told you if you had asked me. I never thought about it. He's in my past. And it's like, yeah, he's in your past, but you've got a child with him. You've got a child with him. The least you could have done is told them. And Hussein, I agree with him that she should have given him a heads up, not to drop something like that in front of his family. I have a feeling someone must have forced her to say it. I really do. I think somebody must have forced her to say, you have to say it, you have to tell him. And she decided to do it in front of his family. That way she could brush it under the rug and keep it stepping and behave like it wasn't something serious. It was a big deal, so she should have at least told him. We then see a backstage footage of her lashing out and being very upset, saying the guys are playing with her, they wasted her opportunity, this was a chance to find love, and yet they played with her. And I don't think that was the case. I think both guys really liked her, but they were always sensing that there was something she was hiding, especially when she brought her ex, and her ex was sort of singing her praises and never had anything negative to say about her. I think this is when things went left. I didn't like the fact that, she brought up Hussein's past. That wasn't necessary, because she brought up and she said, Hussein, I feel betrayed because Hussein was in prison, and yet no one judges him for that. And yet suddenly people are judging me for my history. He judged me for that. And Hussein had to say, this is what I don't like, in the sense that you tell someone your deepest secret, you shared your most vulnerable moment, and then that person uses it against you. Why would you feel the need to do that? Why would you think, it's necessary? And I was in college when it happened. I didn't even go to prison. I wasn't even booked. On her part, Angie made light of it and was joking and was asking, were you booked? Were you booked? And then he said, no, I wasn't. I feel like Rose felt some type of way. She realized that her image had been tainted by how she came across on the show towards the end. And so because she had sort of tainted her own image, she decided to pull the guys in the mud with her and said, if you're going to cover me with mud, I'm going to cover you with mud as well. That's the reason why she brought up about Hussein's past. Hussein was asked, why did you sort of decide to self-eliminate? Why did you not feel like Angie was worth the effort? And he said, no, I didn't want her to be my plan B. We all knew that Rose was my number one. So had I gone for her, then it would have seemed like Rose hasn't worked out, so I'm just jumping onto the next option, which I get. I really get. I think he liked Angie, but they didn't have enough time to sort of nurture anything. And this is why when Rose was left, he decided to leave, because he didn't want to seem like he was forcing a connection with her, which I really appreciate about him, and I give him kudos for that. Sadly, Rose is broken. She's broken, and people didn't realize how broken she was until she came to the reunion and started acting out. You have True come out with Khalil and Naeem. And it was really uncomfortable, because True was saying, she shouldn't have been dumped. She felt lied to, she felt played. And the guys we dumped you because you were lying. We asked you about your age, you wouldn't give us your age. They showed a clip of her having a conversation with Naeem about her number. And she was saying, no, I gave him my number, he didn't contact me. And Naeem was saying, no, you gave me a fake number. Oh no, that's a storyline he was trying to create, whatever. I think she should have just bought a pay-as-you-go phone, and then what do they call those phones? A dummy phone, or what do they call those secret phones? She should have bought one of those, brought it to the show, and that's the number she should have given people, because now it came across ingenuine. It came across as though she really didn't like the guys that she was exploring a connection with, and this is why she was giving them fake numbers. She was in her feelings about that, and it's like, that's not necessary. They then played a game whereby they went through, a couple of sayings that were brought up during the experience, and asking who said this and who said that. That was really cute. I liked that. I really liked that. And then we had the debacle. We had Fritz come out with Sahara. Well, Fritz and Sahara clashed. It seems like Fritz, I think, was trying to have a great time. He came in hoping to enjoy himself, have an experience, and then go home. He didn't plan on catching feelings for anyone. This is the impression that I get. And so for him to come into the experience, he came in, he just wanted to enjoy himself, be on TV. Then the girls started exploring. Obviously, he was called out about searching, Polylife or following Polylife apps. He didn't like that. He felt like, people were judging him because he also followed NASA stuff and he followed other cooking stuff, and he can't cook and he's never been to space. So he felt that people judged him the wrong way. They then showed a clip of Fritz and Cam having a back and forth because Fritz wanted Sahara sent home and Cam was saying she's my connection now to save her. And then the truth came out. There's another couple that's come out as well outside of Khalil and Angie. It seems like Shanice and Fritz are dating because it came out that, you know, Cam apparently had been going behind his connections backs and having conversations with Shanice and sort of asking, who do you think out of the girls I should pick? Cam was not the angel or the saint that he tried to play himself out to be. That's the impression that I get. It seems like he had his own issues, but he was able to package himself in such a way that it didn't come across. Obviously, the girls weren't happy. Sahara was furious when she found out about this because she said, if I have a connection with you, and you are telling me that I'm your person, why then are you asking somebody else for advice? Why do you need the input from somebody else? Shanice was upset, so she blew up because she is now with Fritz and she felt like Fritz was being painted in a negative light. So she brought up the fact that Cam apparently tried to go with her to Spain because he knew she was going to Spain. And it's like, this is messy. This is child's play. Even Tommy at one point was confused. He couldn't understand exactly what was going on. This is why he was looking around like, what the hell am I sitting through? Because I don't understand exactly what we're doing here. So they took a break and then Angie exploded on Cam because Cam was having a conversation with Sahara and she was saying, you shouldn't be talking about me. You shouldn't be talking about you having my name in your mouth. Why do you feel the need to say negative things about me? So Sahara had to run after her and ask her what's going on. And it was revealed that apparently Rose had told her that Cam was saying Angie was very toxic in her last relationship with her ex-partner. She was bashing windows and stuff. I was like, the thing is, you need to take it with a pinch of salt. This is why Cam came and had the conversation with her and told her that you need to take it with a pinch of salt because at the end of the day, people are using their beef to try and sort of get away with whatever they want to get away with. So she's got beef with me. Now she is trying to get you on board and sort of get you to align with her in whatever issues she's having with me. It's like, oh, this is messy. At least they made up. That I love. At least they made up, and so they were able to reach an understanding. Cam then came out with his angels, or his three ladies, Rose, Sahara, and Angie. And he was being asked, you know, did you date Sahara after the show? He said, well, we tried, but it didn't work out. Sahara said, no, he wasn't. He was copying and pasting. He wasn't sending me anything that showed me that he was interested in me. I think he was just doing that for the clout. I think he was hoping that if they were being followed, there's a storyline post-show, then he could say he was dating Sahara. So Sahara felt some type of way about that, and she was really upset about it, and she didn't want anything to do. Well, she was saying, you know, I've blocked him, so I haven't received any of his messages. And it's like, if you've blocked him and you say he's trying to date you, how is he sending you messages if he's blocked? So they were able to reach an understanding that he will be unblocked. On her part, Rose, apparently she dated Cam as well after the season ended, and she found some condoms or used condoms in his house. And it's like, this is messy. This is really messy. And Cam is coming across as a bad guy, given the fact that he worked so hard during the season to try and become, you know, an angel. So I can't wait to see the continuation of that next week. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click on the link in my video to watch my review from episode 12. Bye guys.